What is a plot hole? It's a gap or an inconsistency in a storyline that goes against the flow of logic established by the story's plot. These can include illogical or impossible events and statements, or events that contradict earlier events in the storyline. Frankly, television is teeming with them, even the most popular shows on the small screen. And in this video, we're gonna run you through just a few of them.
Would you slap me? Would you slap me right here in the face? Slice her head off!
If you want to see more interesting videos like this, subscribe to our channel and keep coming back. Here are 10 plot holes in the biggest TV shows that went unnoticed. Sheldon's financial situation, The Big Bang Theory. In The Big Bang Theory's Season 1 episode, The Dumpling Paradox, Sheldon Cooper makes a reference to his financial status by saying to Leonard, "Frankly, if I could afford the rent, I'd ask you to leave," which explicitly means he can't pay the rent on his apartment by himself. However, in Season 3's The Excelsior Acquisition, it's shown that he's so well off that he doesn't even cash his paychecks. He just leaves them in a drawer in his desk. Moreover, in Season 2's The Financial Permeability, he lends Penny a large amount of money from a huge stash he just happens to have lying around, so he's obviously independently wealthy. Which one is it, Big Bang writers? Is Sheldon hard up or rich? Olaf's Hammer, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The character of Olaf the Troll was introduced in the Buffy the Vampire Slayer 5th season episode, Triangle. In that episode, it was established that he was a former lover of Anya's, whom she had punished for his unfaithfulness by turning him into a troll. Later that season, when Buffy went to fight Glory, she used Olaf's hammer to do so, with the reason being that, to fight a god, you should use a god's weapon. At no point previously had Olaf been referred to as a god, and given that his troll form was actually a curse, it makes no sense whatsoever to have described him as one. The Friends' ages. Friends. There were so many inconsistencies with the main characters' ages in classic sitcom Friends, and it's an issue that has now come to irk fans of the show. For example, when Ross first told Joey when his birthday was, he said it's in December, but a few seasons later he claims it's October 18th. He was also 29 years old for 3 seasons of the show, despite going through several Christmas and other holiday episodes. He wasn't the only one with age problems, however. In the episode, the one where they all turn 30, the cast celebrate Rachel's birthday, and she's the last one to hit the milestone. Yet Joey is actually established as the youngest. For instance, in the early episode, the one with the birth, he said he was 25, while Rachel and Monica were both already 26. Quagmire's age. Family Guy. By its very nature, Seth MacFarlane's brilliant Family Guy is inconsistent and silly, so a lot of it doesn't make sense. But there's one particular issue that can only be described as a plot hole: Glenn Quagmire's age. According to his driver's license in the episode Foxy Lady, Quagmire is 61 years old and puts his youthful appearance down to eating carrots. However, he recounts a youthful sexual encounter with Tracy Bellings in 1986 in A Fistful of Meg, and he was at a school dance in 1984 in Meet the Quagmires. Quagmire being so young in those years would mean he couldn't possibly be 61, especially given that he was at the school dance with Peter and Lois, who are both in their 40s. The house Homer grew up in, The Simpsons. Like Family Guy, you'd be foolish to go overboard with your criticism of plot holes in The Simpsons, as it's just a fun animation for the whole family. However, there are some that can't be ignored. In the episode EI, Annoyed Grunt, Homer and his family flee to the farmhouse where he grew up. However, Homer and Grandpa had accidentally burned the house down in the earlier episode, Grandpa vs. Sexual Inadequacy. Inexplicably, the house is still standing when the family arrive. Moreover, when Homer can't grow any food there, a neighboring farmer tells him that's why Grandpa Simpson abandoned the place. But in Grandpa vs. Sexual Inadequacy, Abe said he left because the cows started giving sour milk. David's Fireworks Party. Coronation Street. We now come to Great Britain's most popular soap opera, Coronation Street, which has been running on TV for no less than 56 years. Even with that amount of production experience, the writers still get things wrong. Take David Platt's 2016 character arc, for example. When David tried to commit suicide, he accidentally set his neighbor Anna Windus on fire, and she ended up in hospital with serious burns. David was distraught and disappeared for a few weeks, but when he returned to the screen, guess what he did first? He planned a huge fireworks party for his kids. That's such an out-of-character act that it has to be described as a plot hole, and poor writing and forgetfulness on the part of the writers. The Doctor's Regenerations. Doctor Who. It is a long-established fact in the Doctor Who canon, or the Whoniverse as it's known, that the titular Doctor can only use his regeneration ability 13 times. This is now proven to be problematic, however. Although there have been only 12 official Doctors, meaning he's only used 11 of his regenerations on himself, the Doctor has also used his regenerations to heal his friends over the year. Frankly, therefore, he should have run out of them long ago. Yet he's still going, and there's no sign of the show slowing down. so we'll undoubtedly get a 13th, 14th, and 15th Doctor, and so on. Why did nobody notice they were missing? Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. In 1993, the world was introduced to the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, a group of teenagers recruited by the wizard Zordon and his robot assistant Alpha 5 to protect the Earth. And there was a recurring plot hole that basically happened in every single episode. More often than not, the Power Rangers were contacted at school to report for duty, and they would teleport to Zordon at his command center. At no point, however, did their school's faculty notice that their star pupils were missing classes. It was never questioned or even addressed, even though it happened all the time. Warp 10 Irregularities. Star Trek. Star Trek has been around in various forms since 1966, but there's one thing that the writers of the TV shows can't seem to agree on, which has resulted in a plot hole, and that's the idea of traveling at the speed of Warp 10. In the original 1966 series, and Star Trek The Next Generation, the Enterprise reached Warp 10 on several occasions, and all that resulted in was the ship traveling faster than normal. However, in the Voyager episode Threshold, Tom Paris achieves Warp 10 and is described as being the first human ever to have done so. Moreover, the ship doesn't just go faster, Paris is also described as existing at every point in the universe at that speed, something that wasn't declared previously. Michonne's Walkers. The Walking Dead. When viewers were first introduced to the now established character of Michonne, played by Denai Guerrera, in AMC's brilliant The Walking Dead, the character was accompanied by two shackled walkers, who have been revealed to be her reanimated boyfriend and his best friend. She used them for camouflage and was able to walk amongst other walkers because of their presence next to her. But why? It is established that walkers can smell living humans, and there's no viable explanation as to why Michonne would be able to avoid detection just because she had two of them next to her. Thanks for watching our video about 10 plot holes in the biggest TV shows that went unnoticed. Did you enjoy the video? Can you think of any other gaping holes in the plots of major TV shows? Have your say in the comments section below, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more great videos like this one.